Hello, Sub-Zero here. Made a lot of progress in the previous day. Only 2 quests remain. Completed the Low Ice Mountain, Black Knight's Fortress, the Curse Quest, Demon Slayer, Ernest the Chicken, the Knight's Sword, Prince Ali Rescue, Vampire Slayer, all done in the previous day. So there's just the Shield of Arav and Dragon Slayer 1 to go. Shield of Arav, nothing particularly difficult about that. Just have to work with another player. Already got that coordinated, so there's nothing particularly special about that. It's just coordinating the times to get that done. So that will most likely be done outside of the recording here. But just to get that out of the way. Rune Mysteries, easy enough to complete, but I don't have that completed, so I can get the free air talismans. Dragon Slayer, met the quest points for it now. It recommends 45 combat and 33 magic. So that is part of what I'm working on. I have 42 combat, focusing on melee, and the reason for that is, from what I've understood, is the dragons are most likely weak to melee. You can range them, or you can use magic, but the dragons resist magic, and so by going in with melee armor and like a rune short sword or long sword, you're more likely hit. You can handle the weaker melee attack as opposed to the dragon breath. It's been a while since I've done that quest, so that's why I'm training that, getting the HP up as well. I also do need to get my magic up. That's going to take a little bit of time. I also want to get prayer up so that I can get protect from magic, I think it is. Is it 30? No. Anyway, the protection prayers. Either way, to help with that. Now, that's a little bit of a stretch goal. Do I have to have those? No, but that's definitely going to help. And so it's kind of following their recommendation for 45 combat, focusing primarily on melee, and then getting the magic up as well. And so, as you can see in the tracker, just a little over, it's day 4, going into, because it's 3 days down, 5 hours in. Like I said, I've been training the combat here. The frogs, they have a lot of HP, and they are relatively weak for damage. They only drop bones, but they drop big bones, and so that does help. And my strategy has been to take the canoes up to Barbarian Village, get a load of salmon, cook it on the fire, ride back down, fight here, and I know you can do minotaurs, some other stuff, but this is what I've been doing. Open to some suggestions, but having the big bones is nice. These guys also don't do a terrible amount of damage to me now that I've got my defense up to 30, so I can wear up to Addy armor, attack guide 40 for rune. Yeah, 40 for rune. Yeah, Addy. So, can try and get that higher, it'll help, but can equip all the weapons in free-to-play, essentially. The rune short sword, long sword being the concern there. Now, affording all this stuff is a whole nother matter, but that's why setting those skills first, and then training on strength to get that up to deal more damage. That was a little bit low. I'd like to get that up towards the 40s. That'll also help with the combat level needed. Like I said, magic increased as well, but that comes with a cost. The melee I can train with relative ease, so it's going to be a little bit of a journey, but know the path, know how to wrap it up. It's just, do I make money with silver? Do I do it with combat? How do you go about it? And that's the question I don't know the optimization for, but ultimately you guys know the goal then. So, and it's not that the frogs here don't damage me, it's just I tend to heal about as much as they damage, so I do go through a load of food eventually, but it takes quite a bit of time, especially loading it up with salmon, which heals 9? That should be right. Double check that. Now I can get a bad run, of course. And they can really hurt me, but that's why you have the food. Recover from that. Yeah, salmon heals 9. And what's the other one? Trout? Yeah, trout is 7. Okay, I did have my numbers correct. And so I just fish a little bit, use up some of the feathers I have, and then rotate through till I get an inventory of trout. Not trout. Get an inventory of salmon. Just that extra 2 hit points for the inventory is pretty nice. I mean, I can clear out a little bit of this, but Earth Staff, short bow, and another duplicate steel axe. I got that from completing another beginner clue scroll, and so that's where I was holding on to the Earth Staff for right now, but could trade that in for the Fire Staff and do more damage. But just having the staff was kind of nice, and the inventory slots are not critical. It just means a little bit shorter trip. But the higher I raise my levels for defense, attack, strength, the faster you kill these guys, the less damage they can do to you. And so it becomes less and less critical to carry more food. So, or at least that's the thought process I'm going with right now. And yes, I still have the chef's hat on for stylistic choices, but got an upgrade to the myth plate body and legs. That's what I could afford at the time, so I'll say I can't get the rest, but you know, you do with what you can. And so, it's not to say we can't level smithing, other stuff to get up to rune. It's just it's gonna take way too long, be impractical, so I'm buying what I can. I need to check if the longsword or short sword is stocked in Varrock. I think it is, but I'm not sure for Iron Man. I haven't actually looked at procuring that, so. Because most people would go with a scimitar, but if I can get the short sword, so 20k. I need 20k for that. Okay. Or sorry, I guess the rune Simi you can only get by crafting. I got that mistaken. Free to play, the rune swords are for non-members are the best. So yeah, I'm not gonna have 90 smithing to make that. So yeah, okay. So I need to double my gold pile. That's gonna be a huge upgrade for me. The rune longsword does slightly more damage, but it's also a little slower, so more hits. Just checking on the other items, since I was surprised with the cost there. I mean, I expected it to be one of the cheaper ones, but I didn't have enough for it, so. Yeah, rune plate legs. What was that? 64k. Oof. Yeah, so Champions Guild has one, but 64k for that. Little pricey, but can still probably go in with Addy. Yeah, the Addy plate body, not terrible. It's still more than I have right now, but it's like 16k to procure from the shop. Really? Yeah, Addy plate legs is 6k. Yeah, absolutely can afford that as an upgrade. But right now, getting more damage is gonna help more. Right now, already using Addy weapon. Yes, it's a pickaxe, but utility. Also, with getting 42 combat level, I think the Dark Mages by Varrock do not become aggressive, and the Scorpions in the mines no longer attack me. So that is a big plus if focusing on silver or other ores. So. I think I'm gonna check that out. So I'll have to make some space, some inventory, but we can get them all powered. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, sure. Let's finish that up. Drop that for right now. Yeah, level 20, so you would have to be, what, 41? Because it's 1 over double their level, something like that. Can drop the spade for right now. Okay. First time in here. Chickens, you're mine. Oh, nope. No. Cancel. Just standard spell. Wind Bolt? Sure. Oh, evil chicken. No. Don't want to attack the evil chicken. Not right now, at least. Well, use that up. Okay. Now, Earth Strike. Hey, Letty. How you doing? Oh, on T4 for where it's Wisdom 13 plus, got to 1700, so shot way past it. Oh yeah, but I just had the evergreens and went to town. Well, I had it in the background, so that does affect it as well, but on here, 3 days playtime, and so free-to-play quest, essentially everything's green except for Shield of Arav, which is completed by doing it with another player in 2 different gangs, and so that's going to be completed off of the recording just to get done. Rune Mysteries, easy to complete, but I'm not doing that because I can get free air talismans that way. And Dragon Slayer, that's the one grinding out for. So combat level 45 recommended for that. That'll also help with the plate body, and then getting magic up as well. So that's what I'm doing right now. And the feathers just help me with my food supply, so I fish for that. So. And I agree with you on for idle champions, the Gem Hunter potion. that's why I waited till after the event conversions and stuff, even if it was more inefficient, to get the stuff done. So there's plenty of time to get it done. That's just what I did in like 2 days. So well, you know, they're useful for the feathers to catch the fish that then I cook. So I turn these guys into, you know, just bodies on the ground to then just scavenge their feathers and take the bones. Not making bone broth or anything like, no. I just bury them and gather up the feathers and call it a day. Oh, there's also a giant evil chicken over here that's way stronger than me, so luckily it's not, the attack option is right click, so. Oh, also, why didn't you say anything? I just started using magic and I have terrible gear for magic. I might as well be splashing. Let's take this all off, because look at my stats here. You know, complete noob, come on. Negative 45 magic attack. If I got like 65, I'd be splashing the entire time. Let's take that off. Come on. Now it's positive. There we go. Now we're plus 14. I think the leather boots don't matter. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Cape. I finally got a black cape too, so that's kind of cool. Doesn't really do anything. Not attack-wise. Oh yeah, fancy chef's hat. Yeah, got it. Chef's kiss. Oh, gotta keep that. There we go. Plus 14. That's so much better than negative 45. Come on, I wasted the chaos runes on that? Lydia. Yeah, if it goes negative, I think 65, you will never hurt them. And so you still get the experience for the cast. And so you can, you know, fight a chicken or an imp or something that you would otherwise kill and just keep getting experience without having to move. Or like there's the duck swimming back and forth, level 1. You could just keep casting it on them. It's a very expensive way to do it because like when I do see like a splash there. So now I hit, I do damage, you get points for the damage as well. And in this case I want to get the feathers. But yeah, it's helping get the magic level up too, so. It is a legitimate way of leveling the skill. That's essentially removed in RS3 with the recent combat changes. So instead of having, say you have a 75% chance to hit, that implies you have a 25% chance to miss or otherwise hit a 0. So what they did was, yeah, say you would hit for 10 or well, say 100, you know, it just makes the numbers a bit more straightforward. 75% chance, your average damage would be 75, right? Because you'd have 0 times 25, you know, or, you know, you add up the numbers, but you have 3 out of 4 times you hit 100, 1 out of 4, it would be 0. So when you average it out, you get 75. And so what they did is instead of missing, they just made 75, in the example I'm giving, 75 the what your new hit would be. So you don't miss anymore. You always do something, you know. And I think that makes a lot more sense. It might be a minimal hit, but you do something. And so that feels a lot more rewarding than being like level 99 and you're like, I'm still missing, or whatever it might be. And, you know, like I said, you can get negative magic and you can just splash magic to 99. And I know that's a strategy, but it also feels like the higher level you go, you should be able to be more capable against certain enemies. And when it's set up that way, that's not really the case. You can always miss. And, you know, when you max a skill, it doesn't quite feel right. I know it's part of the game here for old school, and there's nothing against that, but I think that's done correctly. I think that's one of the more positive changes. And people give RS3 a bit of grief about the microtransactions and some of the stuff like that being blatantly obvious. Like, well, yeah, okay, but if you have an Iron Man account or an Ultimate Iron Man, Hardcore Iron Man. Ultimate Iron Man doesn't exist for RS3 as it's set up, but you have a Hardcore Iron Man or a regular Iron Man, you can't get those extra XPs from the microtransactions. You can get the cosmetics and that kind of stuff, but as far as gaining bonus XP and all of that, like, you can't purchase those. They just don't exist for you. So the microtransactions really don't affect you as much. Now, if you're creating a main account, a basic account without the restrictions, absolutely it's easier to level on RS3 versus old school RuneScape. And for some, that's the appeal. You can... Now, that being said, the skills also go from 99 to 120, and that's similar to the grind you see to get to 99 in old school RuneScape. So, and in this instance, this is an Ultimate Iron Man, and so not only do I not trade other players or pick up their items or anything like that, I also can't use the bank. So, no extra storage. What you see here is what I have. That's it. So when I take off my armor to stop splashing, it takes up inventory slots. I mean, I could always drop the stuff, you know, but where's the fun in that? Oh, there we go. 35 hit points. Nice. And this is great for my feather collection. I felt like I should start to use up some of the runes, since I need to get magic up anyways, and then I can start to craft silver for some money, you know, maybe combat, I don't know. We'll figure it out, because I gotta get my combat level up, I gotta get magic up, and I need more cash. You know, those gems aren't gonna cut themselves, right? That's one way of making cash. Right? Just imagine that. So, let's see. Yeah, it's 2 air runes, 1 mind, and I'm using the earth staff. Fire staff would be better, but I got the earth staff as a drop, and it allows me to auto cast. So that's what we're doing. Oh, and prayer. I'm just burying the bones. Some people say you should use the lamps on the XP lamps you get from some of the activities, genies and such, for prayer. But I haven't been doing that, because the prayer, you always get bones. It might be slow, don't get me wrong, but you always get the bones, so you can gradually level it up. Leveling smithing is terrible, just because if you're doing bronze, you need a copper and a tin. So even with nothing else, you have your pickaxe equipped like I had before, and you have nothing else, no gold, nothing. You can make at most 14 bars. But then, to make the bars into something, you have to have a hammer. So then you have to go grab a hammer on the way, and then drop the hammer, reload with the ore. Alternatively, you could make one less bar. The next one up from that is iron. Iron, you can get a full inventory and smelt it, no problem. It doesn't require another ingredient. The problem is it can be impure, and you have to you lose a portion of it. And so it's about a 50% success rate. And so you see the pattern. You get 28 ore, but it becomes 14 bars on average. And so then if you go to steel, you have to mine 2 coal and 1 iron. It will always succeed to make steel, but now you're making oh yeah, I can do water bolt now. Steel. You use up 3 slots of your limited inventory to then make 1 bar, and so yes, it's a better equipment, but it ends up being less and less each time, and so the next one up you use another 2 coal, and so it's 5 inventory slots per bar, and on up to rune, and so it becomes very difficult to start to make the higher ores in any significant quantity. You really end up with basically iron, because there's a chance it's 50-50, so you could get a full inventory of iron bars. It's highly unlikely, but you could. So we'll work through the runes here. Is that the best? Oh! That uses body and water. So yeah, I could actually cast Weaken. I don't want to use Nature's. Curse. Yeah, so I can start with that. That'll use up the water and body runes to give some extra magic XP. Because that's closer to 2-1, that's 3-1. Yeah, so Curse is going to be a better option for me. Okay. There we go. I cast it and there was another chicken in the way, so he didn't actually start to attack me. So there we go. Yeah, so because my inventory is so limited, I'm trying to squeeze out balancing the runes that I've gained with the XP I can get. So by casting Curse, like I got 29 magic experience, and it's using water, air, water, earth, and body runes. Body, I didn't have a use for otherwise. The water is a weaker cast for damage than I'm already using earth strike for. And I have the earth staff on, so I get unlimited earth runes. And so by casting that, I'm able to get an extra 29 magic XP per attack. So it just helps me squeeze out just a bit more without using my damage spells. One more? There we go, yep. 28 prayer. 43 combat, not bad. 550 total levels. Long way from max, but certainly a good bit of progress. See, it's like I curse him, and then it's like, oh no, see, he attacked me first. I had to hurt him. That chicken was chicken. What do you mean? Yeah, see, I didn't damage him. He tried to hurt me first. See, he was approaching me. That's actually great. It's a 29 XP times what another? Sorry, what was it? Just below 50. So 24 cast. Yeah. And like I said, the feathers help out with the fishing, my food collection. Technically, I could get a harpoon and get better food with tuna, swordfish, or a lobster pot or cage. They changed the name back, I guess. Anyway. To pot, that is, not cage. Yeah, the nature runes, and I don't have a teleport up, but actually I should filter those out. There we go. Greatly simplified now. Oh, I weakened that one already. You're mine now. Chicken attack. It's a lot harder to misclick when you have a big button there. Try and keep it away from this one, is basically what it comes down to. Let's see, weaken, fuse. Yeah, those would all be fine. They're one body rune, but they use more water. This uses fewer water runes. Yeah, 15 more cast at 29 XP, so making some decent progress here for magic. Oh, I guess I missed the bones there. Oh, inventory's full. That would be why. Gotta take care and clean this up every once in a while. Give the chickens a break. Show them some respect. There we go. They're like that. I saw a purple halo above this chicken, and then he just went crazy and started attacking him. I don't know what was going on. He was running away there. Like that's gonna get you safe? No. After I finish up the curses, then I can go back to well, I mean, it basically is auto casting, but then I won't be surprised when I fill up my inventory and like, why isn't this working anymore? It's like, oh yeah, that's why. And there we go. 5 more cast. I have earth runes, so I could swap out the staff, but then I'm spending more money. I was doing this because of the utility, but at some point any of the runes that are left over might be better to just dispose of. Hopefully by selling them and making some gold, but if not, because otherwise it's going to cost me more to balance everything out. Yep, see, I got cursed for 2 more left, but I'm going to have 20 body runes left. Oh. Yeah, all the water runes are gone. So spells, you lack magic level. Yeah, I don't need that. Spells. That's fine. That's a little bit better there. Grab those feathers and bones, and then we can start consuming the rest of the air runes. Well, and mind. And since I think the max hit is higher than the health of the chicken, it's a little bit wasteful with that regard. But, because I've hit a 3 before. I think it is a 4. I'd have to double check the calculations. But either way, like in that example where they had 1 health left, if that would have... Did not mean to pick that up. If that would have been a 2, then you would get more benefit from it, but since it's only 1 point of damage you can use, it's less effective. But I'm able to get the feathers that I'd be looking for extra utility, so it's a trade-off here. This is also going to be a similar story for ranged. I guess I could do that, but I only have the 15 arrows, so I don't know, I feel like there's something a bit ironic running around in a chef hat and leaving all this raw food around. It just kind of works, right? Hey, Peachy. Welcome in. Whether you talk much, lurking, whatever, appreciate that you're here. So like I said, you get the bones, you make some progress with prayer. It's still a win-win. It's just slow to... You have to bury a lot of bones. Yeah, that's why I was looking at the giant frogs in the swamp before, because they at least drop big bones, so it's a little more efficient. They also have relatively high HP, but relatively low defenses, so they're somewhat easy to work through. So. So, over 150 cast left. Yeah, I'm gonna have a few airs left over, okay. Oh, yeah, because I did, what was it? I had the air staff, I think it was, instead of fire staff. So that's why they're out of sync, yeah, okay. But yeah, I'll have to figure out what I need to trade out to maximize the benefit. Because running back and forth with the plate armor is not ideal, but I also don't want to get rid of it right now, so. The shield's not helping much, it's just what I crafted, but yeah. Oh. That was interesting. I stepped backwards instead of turning around. Haven't seen that yet today. Or at least didn't catch it. Because normally you turn towards the target and stand still. In that case it was back up, but it wasn't a typical 180 and then turn to the target. Getting a decent collection of feathers, twice what I had before, and that was with training melee on the... Now you don't have to chase them down, so it definitely helps in that respect. You just blast them from, what is it, up to 7 spaces away, I think. Oh man, I missed completely, just whiff. With plus 15 magic, no hit. Yeah, so every 30 minutes you can get 30 free mind runes and air runes from the magic tutor as long as you don't have any in your inventory. So the way I accumulated more is by dropping the items I had and then talking to the magic tutor, and they give you another set, then picking up the ones you had dropped and getting a fresh set. So like I said, I had an air staff to begin with, and that's why I had more air runes than mind runes. There we go. Sorry. Yes, I am. Oh, an uncut ruby. Okay, I'll take that. Splashed again. There we go, I hit a 3. That kind of makes up for that. What is the... $34? Ooh. If I'm holding on to the... or if I'm gonna start doing the mining silver symbols, getting crafting up, making some money, I should probably hold on to that ruby. Finish it, cut it, and then sell it back. Because right now it's like, what, 160 to the gem shop. Okay. but finished its double that, I think. Lydia, used to. Well, why don't you pick it back up? I mean, here we go. There's an ultimate Iron Man. That means no banking. You just hop into the game, go play. You can't trade other players. You just wander around and do your own experience. Just with your original inventory, just like when RuneScape Classic first came out. You know, the banks only held gold and no items, and so you had to haul everything around with you. It's not that hard. Iron Man dual stream. So you're saying log into the hardcore Iron Man, make sure I don't die while also having this one up? Yeah, so there's people that do that. There's one that he plays 10 accounts at the same time. Sorry, Peachy. But yeah, there's one guy who plays 10 accounts at one time to show how much you could make in, 10 hours or whatever, because he does it for an hour, but on 10 accounts. Yeah, and so I was saying that, you don't need to have 10 accounts to play, or even a dual stream. You can just dive into the one. This is Ultimate Iron Man. It's real simple. There's no bank. There's none of that. You just get what you carry with you, and you explore the world. Yeah. I can understand having a few alts or something like that, but 10 at the same time is... one of the characters would die somehow. Trust me, it would just happen. I'd lose focus for an instant, and I just cannot do that. It's bad enough trying multitask, reading chat while doing things here. Heck, Peachy probably remembers some of the stuff where I got distracted with Morrowind and was going on, and then, oh yeah, sorry, yeah. I got caught up in the quest log, because in Morrowind, it doesn't give you a marker where to go, you just gotta remember where to go. Castle? I didn't build anything. Oh, I still enjoy Morrowind. Went back and then beat the Assassin's Guild, Dark Brotherhood gear, with no weapons. It felt very much like Dark Souls there for a moment, but got through it. Oh, no, that's just the Champions Guild. It's not a castle, that's just a guild. See mine back there. Got some cows. The castle is over there. Can't show it properly, but it's over there. keeps removing the roof because of this when I try zoom out enough. Anyway. Yes, you can have that. This being free to play, there's different restrictions, but one of the skills is construction. As it states, is members only. And so, but yes, you can get a house, build rooms in it, set up tables, chairs, wardrobes, armor stands, number of other useful items. But not for free to play. Not what this account is. And so what I wanted to do was start a free-to-play Ultimate Iron Man. Why did I grab the raw chicken? You don't grab raw chicken with bare hands. Oh, I don't have bare hands. I have gloves on. It's fine. I'm a chef. I wear gloves. So, after I get the free-to-play content complete and get the skills to an undefined level, then yes, can switch over to members. But the goal is to get through all the content that's free-to-play and essentially have that completed. That being said, because the methods are less efficient on free-to-play, and there's access to fewer things just in general, some of the numbers I've seen have said something like it's 8,000 hours to max an Iron Man on free-to-play. Right? That's basically a year, 24/7. And keep in mind, I said free to play. So even though there's faster ways for members, no construction, no hunter, no farming, no fletching. So you have a lot less to level, even if it is less efficient. But yeah. 8,000 hours. Am I ready for that? No. Can I get all the quests done? Can I get, I don't know, 50s in all the skills? Except maybe runecraft? I don't know. Maybe? $27 magic. So I can now do emerald jewelry. So this has been quite a good return with the, just the prayer experience, but even the feathers coming from these kills is a good portion of what I spent, basically the equivalent cash stack of what I had now. I spent that on feathers to get my fishing up, and now just what I've gained here is, I think, a quarter of what I had. And this has been at most, I don't know, an hour of this with the chickens. So is it the fastest way? No. Is it optimal? Probably not. But I need to get magic up. I also need feathers. So it works. And, no. I was thinking combat level, but that's, no, my magic's too low. And it went up because of the prayer, basically. That still helps. But yeah, Lydiath, you're familiar with that kind of grind, right? Except you're just more used to set it and forget it method, as opposed to click and train. Now, don't get me wrong, there's like AFK methods. Like I said, for magic, if you can raise up enough money, you can just splash and fail your spells against the enemies, and then you can just slowly, it's expensive because you're wasting the runes, but you slowly get magic experience without having to pay a lot of attention. There's not necessarily for free to play, but there's other ways to level basically almost any skill except I don't think there's a AFK or idle way to level Slayer, since you have to be assigned the task, and then you have to go kill said monster. Some of them can be easier, or they can have certain attributes that might make it, like for example, when I was training in the swamps earlier, those frogs dropped big bones. No, not really. There's markers that can help with some of the layout. So like they've implemented that. So originally it was RuneLite, and then this is the official client. And so like for fishing, if you don't have the rod or the net or whatever it is, it's not going to highlight the zone. But if you do have that in your inventory, then it highlights the fishing spot for you in a different color, so it's easier to identify. So there's some of that, but you can't script it. That being said, some of the people that play this are just really impressive. So there's a mechanic in the game. It's one game tick, one process of the game, action items, on the N64, 30 frames per second kind of thing, but the physics calculates between. And so I don't have the prayers unlocked, but there's the protect from magic, missiles, and melee, and there's certain bosses you would have to alternate them. That typically uses prayer points, and so you would have to recover that. Well, if you do it properly, you can turn it on, get the protect from it, and then basically turn it off before the next calculation, if you will. And so that allows you to get the protection without paying the cost. Someone did that on, I think it was Inferno, which is like, it's a very hard section anyway to get Fire Cape. Then there's the Infernal Cape. And so not only did this guy do this perfectly to take out the healers for 11 minutes, he also took the time to go through the setup for it, which was something like 6 minutes, all with tick perfect switching. And so he had a full stack, so he was switching all 3 prayers, magic, ranged, melee, back and forth, while moving left to right and making sure the enemies were in the right spot to give the worst possible attack so they wouldn't be stacked up and aligned, and still did perfect manipulation because he survived, cleared all the enemies with 1 prayer point. So if he was off at all, basically it would get consumed, and then, well, that's it. The boss, so like this chicken has 3 health. That boss has 1200. Just for a little bit of perspective. Yeah, I can send you the video. It's on YouTube. It's really quite impressive. I'll send you the link for that. Even if you don't understand the details entirely, what's going on, you can appreciate the quick movement and the stamina that he has for that. Or sorry, I don't know, he, she, they, that they have for that. I'm not familiar with their other works. I just saw the one, and it is impressive. I don't even have a Fire Cape, let alone, Infernal Cape. Let alone doing that with 1 prayer point after getting the setup done. Just, oh. Well, we're almost done with the runes here. Got 9 more cast, 8. Then I'll trade in the staff here, well, sell it. Probably sell my shield too. Just one less thing to worry about. Oh yeah, well that's in about 3 weeks after all this wraps up. But yeah, you're right. I don't know. With the current setup, you can self align. If you're a little bit off, it'll go back. And so, do you trade speed for perfection? Because I need to get to 300 total for that to be set up correct. And so, I don't know. Do I just hold off a little bit to get 300 and then get the setup going? Or do you rush it early and have... I don't know. I'm only 41 away. It's just a bunch of grinding, and then you convert what you have, and just run with it. Oh, the door made the sound. I was like, is there a random event? What did I miss? Yeah, so it's not that hard. You can do it too. If you get to the max area and just like start converting, it just takes a while. Said trade. Thank you. So see, he sells the. Well, yeah. Whether it's 145, 151, 300, it's the same strategy. You just keep going. You know, just like here with RuneScape. Except RS3, you don't stop at 99. You go to 120 or 150 or 200 mil XP. 825 gold for the Earth Staff. I'll take that. I can use that right now. I don't have an appropriate combination for that. I want to keep these down there. That is useful for the canoes, but if I'm going to be going Lumbridge, I can buy another one. Sure, take my fishing rod. Archery shop's right next door. We'll hold on to that for now. Not a lot, but it's something. So I've got okay. One coin, okay. And that was 2. I think this all stays the same value. Oh, no, it did drop. Because that'll allow more silver. Yeah. I could swap worlds, but you can also just clear this out. It's a 50 GP basically difference. Okay. So now I've got my pickaxe. Actually, how much is that worth? Yeah, we'll just sell this off here. Yeah, I know I could squeeze a little bit more, blah, 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 but that way we got a decent stack going. You know, considering I started out at like 10k, and this is going to put me 2k above. Yeah, 140. It's like I'm close, but I'm also so far away from completing that. And so at a minimum, keeping cash stack, these runes are drop only, so those stay. Gathered up the feathers, but that's kind of a little bit optional because they're not terribly expensive. Just walk right through the middle there. Yep. Good thing they're not aggressive anymore. Because with Demon Slayer, they were a big pain. Did that off stream. But right, Chef on a mission. Yep. See, it just saves on weight rather than carrying this heavy medium or full helm on your head. Who needs that? Oh, that's just too much. No. Go lightweight, non-aggressive. There you go. Yeah. I mean, look at that blue. Ooh, that's a look. There you go. Yep. I'd really like to cut the ruby for more cash, but I'll probably make that up in just a couple of crafting trips, so there's some silver rocks. Scorpions are not going to be aggressive anymore, so I can go get the silver there. See, they're going after gold. Gold takes a long time to spawn, and I don't think I have the mining level for it, actually. Yeah, 40, so I can't even do gold. I could do iron. But we'll stock up on silver. And so I could have a rune pickaxe. I can actually equip it now, but it also costs more. So that's where it's balancing. It's the second best I can have. Also, there's the mithril rocks I was talking about. So the armor I have, you make it with that, but you have to combine it with 4 coal. So 5 inventory slots per bar, and the plate takes 5 bars to make. So 25, like I would have to have full inventory and then go grab the hammer. I don't recall silver taking this long. That's tin. There's fire runes, that's nice to know. Never mind. Maybe I'm just terrible at mining. $34 mining and silver is 20. Because that's iron again? Yeah. Copper, Addy rocks up there, coal. So this is a great site. It's got clay, it's got a little bit of everything. So you can mine the coal there, combine it with the myth. You can take the adamantite rocks, combine that with the coal. So you even got tin and copper. So you can do basically everything here. You got bronze, iron, steel, mithril, addy. No, because I'm more than twice their combat level now. So that's where I had to get my combat level up. These are 14, so it would be 28, 29, I guess, to be more than double it. And so that's where I also was looking at the Dark Wizards, where when I completed the previous quest, they were aggressive for me. And so by getting up to 41, 42, they suddenly are not aggressive anymore, because I think the highest level one is 20, which was a big pain. As you saw, I had this armor for fighting the demon because it was melee, and sure, this is what I had, but it's absolutely garbage for magic defense. And so the wizard just starts blasting, and I'm like, this hurts. And of course, because I'm running away, but they can hit you over a range. So, yeah, that was not pleasant. So on Demon Slayer, it loads you into an instance. So it looks nearly identical to the original area, but it's your own separate world to fight the demon, basically. And that's fine, except he spawns in the middle of the circle, and it's single combat. So a level 7 mage started attacking me. I take him out, fine. Then another level 7 mage attacks me, or Dark Wizard, I should say, sorry. And it's like, come on guys, I just want to take out the demon. So I have the Silver Light equipped. So I exited the instance by going to the edge of the map. That resets it. But it put me right next to a level 20 Dark Wizard. The level 7s would not be aggroed, but the level 20 did get aggressive and go after me. And so that was very annoying, because then I reset the instance, go in, and he's at the bottom, so then I just defeat him instantly. It's like taking out a level 2 cow or something. It was not bad, but it was just getting to that point that was... So there we go. We got a full inventory now. And I will very slowly go south, because I'm 73 kilograms now is what I'm hauling around. So my run energy doesn't last very long this way. You run back relatively lightweight. I mean, if you get your run energy at 100 or 90, then yeah, you're better off using some, because over 100 is a waste. But really, when I said earlier it was like 8,000 hours, that is true, but it's not necessarily 8,000 hours of like, oh, you're mining, you're sitting there, click the thing. No, it's like, oh, you mined the stuff, great. Now you have to walk back. So it's the pathing that is a lot more important for a lot of the planning. So, yep, he takes the raw ones, 70. Okay. Now I can grab a mold, and then we can go to furnace. It's a little bit back and forth for this first one, because yeah, that's 5, so so now we got the inventory. We can make the mold, sell them. The general shop is just south of us now, so it's a little bit back and forth, but you can kind of see the routing. Head north, get the stuff, head over here, furnace, make the items. most of it is the back and forth. So as you saw, this is a 73 kilograms as is. Now watch when I go and smelt all silver bars. So we do get a small amount of smithing experience, but it was 73. Yeah, since I have a full inventory because I really cleared out a lot of the stuff here, it takes longer. But it's more efficient because that walk is a while. So now I can make holy symbols, but before I do that, so it was 73, now it's 63. So just by making the bars, I'm still lighter. Now we'll make holy symbols unstrung. And so even if I was to carry those bars, I'm still going to be able to run further, faster, well not faster, but longer. And so now I'm getting the crafting experience I was talking about. And so we're going to level up here. There we go, 32 crafting. I think it was 35 to cut ruby. And so, 1 or 2 trips another time. But now, 21 kilograms. 73 to 63 to 21. Still, inventory's full. Now I can run. $74, so sell off 10. It's down to 20. Still 20. Okay. And so, yeah. Those basically didn't affect my weight at all. So now you just run back without issue. So then I load up on silver again. Turn run off until it starts to fill up. Or I guess when I have just a few I can fill it up. Or run back and forth. But yeah, a full load of silver ore. 73 kilograms just by turning it into bars. 63. And then by turning it into the symbols, 21, weighs nothing. Cleared all 5 rocks real fast there. Also, there's normally the timer. Interesting. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I had it before, right? And so this is another place, like, while waiting, you can grab the fire or water runes, or that kind of stuff too, in the downtime. Although this one isn't going to be very effective because that's already going to be spawning in. So it's not too bad to get a full inventory here. And I think the lowest primarily it's to get the levels up, but the crafting and smithing experience is something. And they were selling for at least 20 gold. Ideally, with one in there, I think it was like 74, but that drops real quick. And so you're able to make some money while also getting crafting and smithing up, and mining for that matter. So because I need to get, what was it, 16k for Addy plate legs, so that'll be an upgrade for me. I need 20,000 gold for the rune short sword. That will be the best weapon I can get in the game for quite a while, until I can smith something better. And what was the Addy plate? I think it was like 20 as well. Anyway, I need so this is the rock spawns. It's based on the number of people on the server or something like that as well. So if you're on a more populated server, it should spawn faster. But it also depends on the ore. If you're doing copper and tin, it'll spawn much quicker. If you're doing something like gold, which is higher level than silver, it'll take longer, as an example. And the guy waiting up at the Addy, that can take quite a bit longer than that even. I'll show you with I'll drop something, and I'll show you the copper, so you can see how it takes a little while. But this is also why coming to this mine you get at least 3 rocks or 2 rocks to work through, and you can mine something else in the meantime and drop it. There was... that's iron. I thought there was... Anyway, the timer is different for each one. The higher the ore, the longer it takes to respawn in. And I think it's also based, I'd have to double check, but the more populated the server, it used to be, if I recall correctly, like the spawn rate would be less because it's meant to be more competitive. And so if you're on a server that has like 90 people, like probably me right now, it takes forever. If you're on one that has 2,000 or whatever the max is, I think it's 2,000, it'll be significantly faster, if I'm not mistaken. So see, I walk when I have all this extra weight, 73 kilograms. I take that to a furnace. That gets converted down to 21 kilograms of weight by turning the bars in, or turning it into bars into the molds, and then I sell those off and run back with the much lighter weight, so the energy carries me a lot further. But yeah, 14 XP per bar for smithing. You can see why I'm using the lamps and all the XP that I can get to put in a skill. It's going into smithing. The crafting, you know, you can do leather hides, you can do some of the other stuff, and even the mining. Like you said, it's so slow, but you can go to different rocks and just drop the stuff. The smithing and smelting, I have no bank. This is all I have, so I have to mine it and use it right away. And so, as I mentioned earlier, if I want to do steel, that's 2 coal and 1 iron for each bar. And then you take that bar and make it into your armor by going to a different place where there's an anvil. This I can kind of stay at the same spot and get some, it's less, but some smithing, some crafting experience, and so it kind of streamlines it a little bit and makes some money selling this stuff off. You could do iron or steel maybe, but then you have to carry that all the way north to the next town and get a hammer and sell the stuff. It just, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's nearly, for so much extra walking, I don't know if it's really worth it. So I did use a little bit of run energy between the rocks, but basically I was at 90 before on the first trip, and that was at 87 when I got back here. So it basically maintains. So yeah, he has a collection there, but now they sell for 20, still 20. Yep, still 20. So I could sell them all off as a group of 50 and get 20 per. So, another way I can make money is by doing combat. You know, yeah, you can sell off the armor and stuff for smithing, but like I said, it's just so... See, there's the 2 gold rocks, and that is so much slower than the silver. So yeah, you can do gold, you can craft it for more, but it takes so much longer to mine. You're almost kind of better off having 2 molds and switching between them. Oh yeah, there's the copper and tin. But see how much faster that's loading versus the gold that was there previously, so. Rune pickaxe, rune pickaxe. Yep. And then there's me. Like, I can't afford that. Not yet. The hesitation I have a little bit is getting the... It's like, I want the money to go and buy the sword and stuff. I can even upgrade the armor, you know. Okay, there might be a little bit of weight penalty, but it doesn't take up any more space. If I go and buy the rune short sword, it helps with combat, that would be great. But then I lose one extra inventory slot because either the pickaxe is going to take it up or I'm going to have the pickaxe equipped for some reason. And the sword's going to be in the slot. I don't want to sell the sword because then I have to buy it back at the difference. And so that's going to cost. So I don't know. That's why I'm trying to do some of the crafting and smithing here, make a little bit of cash, then figure out what to do. Because I make each run is, well, even at the 20 gold, this isn't quite optimal, but let's say you drop that and do 25. Then, you know, even selling it back at the basic price, the 20 gold, you still make 500 GP per run. If the inventory sells out, then you can get a little bit more. Starting out for that first one, it's the equivalent of like 3 or 4 of the symbols. If I really cared, I could swap worlds and do that, but I'm fine with the, you know, flat rate, if you will, for right now at least. Yeah, so on a regular Iron Man, you can just take your armor or whatever else, put it in the bank. It's not a big deal. So you can see some of the dilemma for me is, it's like, yeah, I can repurchase it, but I'm going to have to repurchase it. So like, oh, I dropped my steel hatchet. Now I can't do canoes because I don't have an axe. So then do you equip the axe or do you, and then have a pickaxe in the inventory slot, other way around, you know? How do you weigh out some of those options? It also makes it kind of a fun little challenge, if you will. But yeah. So this ultimately helps with the quest. You're like, how can this help with your combat quest? Like, well, I need cash. I tried, you know, getting some fish, selling them. It's not much. Not that this is a huge amount, but, you know, 400, 500 GP a trip. I had 10,000 to start this stream, basically. Sold off some of the stuff. The earth staff I got from a cask, from a clue scroll. And so, you know, 850 there, it adds up. So, you know, yeah, I'm getting the XP. I'm getting a small amount of money. Sure. Can you get better drops? Probably. But I'm not really the best setup for combat right now, because that's the whole point of getting the money, to get the better gear to prepare for the quest. So not that this is necessarily bad, it's just there's 2 levels above it that I could get. Well, sorry, I guess the rune plate body isn't that the... I think that's how you unlock that in the Champions Guild. I'd have to double check. So I think the best I can have is Addy plate body, 1 level up from what I have. Because as a reward from the quest you get that. But that's where rune starts to get expensive. So myth plate legs, what I have now, was a couple thousand. Addy plate legs, I think, was 16,000, and then rune plate legs go for like 64,000. And then you start to see that increase. It's like, ooh. It's like the contracts stacking up, you know, doubling every time or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Lydia. Catch you next time. Yeah, I there we go, 33 crafting. I can craft vials now, so I can start to do some potions, but I can't do potions. Yay, free to play. I mean, you kinda can, but it's not herblore. But yeah, now it's the cash grind, or at least for a little while, till I switch back to get my combat up. So, but either way, that's just getting a fishing rod and the hatchet, and then kind of do what I have here. So it's relatively easy to set that back up. Little inconvenient to get some of the gear, but not too bad. So yeah, it's still 20. There we go. Over 13,000. So all things considered, we're at 3 days, 7 hours. We're into day 4. Could it be done faster? Absolutely. But am I pleased with the progress we've made? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna complete all the quests. That's not a problem. But now I can dig into some of the skilling and some of the just you know, the quality of life things, if you will. Maybe not quite as optimal, but yeah, because I'm gonna need like an earth talisman, create an earth tiara, and that's probably gonna replace the chef's hat for a while as I do runecraft with earth runes, because that's gonna be the closest thing to the mind that I have. And the chef hat, I really like it. It's a look for this character. But when it comes to utility with the runecraft, I got it so far off Air Tiaras, but that was a doozy too. Hey, you taking my rocks? Wow, they all spawned back in, and I'm still working on the first one here. How far are we? Yeah, so we'll get a mining level this trip as well. Smithing is a little further away, but crafting, yeah, that'll be another crafting level too this trip. So not bad. 36 mining, 34 crafting. Huh. So you do log in. Okay. Fair enough. Swap worlds, clear those rocks. Okay. Oh, there we go, 36 mining. Normally I might be a little more aggressive with the ores, but right now I don't care. I'm kind of wrapping it up, so. So we got just about another trip here, and we'll smith it into, or smelt it into the bars, craft the symbols, sell that off, get what is that, 13,500 gold, and probably call it there. Because there's not a lot to do, but still progress. And I'd really like that weapon upgrade. Make the mining less efficient, but ooh, essentially unlocking best in slot weapon. for now, at least. Yeah, I don't think... Well, ultimately, yes. The armor is going to matter, but that's just meaning I use a little bit less food and I can overcome that with combat levels. Having the better weapon is going to deliver more damage. Just have so much better stats. I mean, it would also allow me... yeah, you should be able to get a rune pickaxe for your play, but... Yeah, stocks 1 in the mining guild and dwarven mines, but it's 32,000. Yeah. That's why I have the one I have, but that would be a nice upgrade if you have that instead of the weapon, but the weapon's cheaper. But then I use up a slot. And ultimately I want the rune pickaxe anyways. Some of the stuff I have to think on. Because I'm gonna need, what, 100k gold. You know, between the rune short sword, rune pickaxe. The armor upgrades. There we go, 34 crafting. Oh, 34 for rubies. Okay. I don't need zombie gear right now. Okay, there we go. It's just figuring out the best way to go forward with everything. This is a way to get mining, smithing, crafting, make some money. Is it the best? No, probably combat's best, but then it's random drops. You're more dependent on food and other stuff. cleared those out real quick. Those haven't had a chance to respawn, and yet the timer's gone away. I wonder why that happens. Here, run, toot toot toot. I got all 5 ore, so I know that's mine. Well, actually, this is the newer RuneScape. It's based on the archive copy that was done in 2007, and so it has content like redwood trees that don't exist in RS3. But yes, many would say this is the better version, but it's also very grindy. As you can see, this is how long silver takes to load in. You know, fill in the pie chart and that's it. That being said, RS3 is the 3rd generation, and that's where the accounts migrated from RS1, or what some would consider classic, to RS2 with the graphical updates and other enhancements. Then Evolution of Combat, RS3, and that is because of the migrating of the character. That's where I have my 20-year cape on, because the account is that old. Old school RuneScape is not that old, so being that it's based on the 2007 version. So, but yes, it has its own charm. Better? I don't know. Do you like standing around waiting for rocks to respawn? You don't get that in RS3 when they upgraded it. You can just mine all the rocks, they don't run out. There's a AFK aspect to it, and you can click to mine it faster, but the ores don't run out like they do here, where you end up waiting for this stuff to spawn in. So it also doesn't help that I have an ultimate Iron Man, and so Orion Snake. What that means is I can't trade other players, I can't pick up their drops, I can't go to the Grand Exchange to buy items or exchange items. I cannot even go to the bank to deposit items or withdraw them. So in many respects, it's very similar to classic RuneScape, where the bank only held coins, except they don't even hold coins for me. Oh, and because of the respawns, if someone else loads in and they mine this before I do, then I'm out of luck. I have to wait for the next spawn or go to a different rock and wait. So, like, these two are probably the most popular because you don't have to walk between them. But there's 5 total. So. And yeah, so Ultimate Iron Man, and I have almost every free-to-play quest completed. This is just, you have to work with someone else to get it done, so that's going to be done off of the video. Rune Mysteries, easy. I just haven't done it strategically. Dragon Slayer is the hardest quest in free-to-play, and so that is part of what I'm preparing for now. I'm leveling my combat, but I'm also trying to get cash here to get the best weapon for me free to play in the game is probably the Rune Short Sword, and that costs 20,000 gold. So right now I'm mining silver to then make into bars. Make those bars into symbols and sell those symbols for 20 gold apiece. For 20,000 gold. Yeah, that's what I need. Oh, and because I'm on free to play, that means I don't get agility, I don't get thieving, I don't get construction, hunter, farming, fletching, you know, a lot of the skills. And so my run energy recovers very slowly. So the other thing is, as I pointed out to Lediath, right now I'm laden down with the silver ore, so it's 73 kilograms that I weigh. But after I go to the furnace here and smelt the silver bars, I'm not going to actually walk anywhere, but I'm going to suddenly weigh less, about 10 kilograms less. And then once I craft those bars into the symbols with this mold I have, I am suddenly going to weigh a lot less, about 21 kilograms. And so that means that my run is going to last far longer. So I run to the mine, but I walk my way back, then run to the store, sell off the stuff, run back. So yeah. And even if you're at, 200 kilograms or whatever it happens to be, if your run energy is 100%, you always run. Because you can't go over 100%. Oh no, there's teleports, I just don't have them. I mean, I have the home teleport, which takes me to Lumbridge. I don't want to do that yet. That's also part of getting magic up, is the only teleport I have is Varrock teleport, but that uses a law rune, and the only way I can get law runes is from drops. So I have to kill wizards or something to get those. Maybe? It's kind of relaxing to not have to worry about a bank or any large inventory. What you see is what you get. My inventory there is all I have. That's it. So you're not scavenging around through 200 items and like, oh, what sword do I need? Oh, what is this? Like, no, this is it. That's all you get. You end up repurchasing a lot of stuff, but you want to do an activity, you want to sell off the stuff, like you just do it. Is it as efficient? The answer is usually not. No, because it would probably be better to go mine this stuff, bank it, smelt it later, something like that. If you can deposit items. If you can't, then you're more limited in proximity to the stuff. So there we go, 14,000. I get about, 20 a piece, so 500 a run-ish. So 40 of these runs should raise enough money for my sword. I need to do another what was it, 36,000? So 72 of the runs. On that note, on RS3, there are mules and stuff that you can have pack mule. I don't have that here as that's free to play, but see, they spawned in, cleared the silver, so they're doing the same thing, opposite path, but that's fine. A lot of people switch worlds and then just keep mining, as it's probably faster, but at this point, 2 hours in, I just don't care. But yeah, silver rocks up there, so I got the 5 rocks to work through, so those should spawn in first. he's been going back and forth to the iron there, so I'm not worried there. Yeah, so in some ways, being free to play, you have access to less skills. So even though it takes you longer to level because they're less efficient, you have less skills to level. So in that respect, it's kind of nice. Because even though they're less efficient, you can get it done in, essentially the same amount of time. If you have a more efficient method, but you have to level instead of 14 skills, I think it's 14 you have for free to play. Anyway, you instead of leveling 14, you have 28. Well, now, even if it's twice as efficient, it still takes you the same amount of time because you have twice the number of skills, right? Now, of course, if you spend thousands of hours maxing on free-to-play, and then you start to pay for members, and you then level the skills, yeah, you're taking a lot longer than you otherwise would overall. But if that's the journey you want to take, who can say that's wrong? I mean, there's Swampletics, which is limited to Mauritania locked to Iron Man, and so that's a grind. To get agility up, you just run across the same bridge and fail it again and again until you start to increase that. I have the whole free to play world open to me to play, but it's a relatively small region as well. And so by doing that, it allows me to fully complete all the quest for that and to level the skills at least to a reasonable point. I'm not going to say I'm going to get 99 and everything, but it's going to allow me to level it to a reasonable point. And so that you can say you kind of completed the experience, if that makes sense. Because there's a ton of members content, and that's great, but to max all of the stats, to do every quest, it's like, hey, can you complete collection log? Yeah, probably not, because stuff keeps coming out. Correct, it's a smaller area. So on the map here, I'll zoom out. This section is free to play, including a bit of Karamja here. Mauritania, all of this over here, down here, Isle of Souls, Femeric Isles, Lunar Isles, that's all members. And it also unlocks agility, herblore, thieving, fletching, farming, slayer, construction, hunter, and really a practical way to raise runecraft. Technically, runecraft is free to play, but you can only do elemental runes. Like I said, I cannot make the air law and nature runes. You can make those on members. They also have a chest in Ardone that you can thieve nature runes from. So it allows you multiple ways to get the same item. But in free-to-play, that is only as a drop. They're still just as useful for like superheat or teleports, but they're a much more limited commodity. There we go, I got full inventory again. Now for the slow walk back. This guy doing the same thing. What's over there, though? Oh. Is that closer? I mean, I guess it is. I have to go from the mine here all the way down to the furnace over here and back. And I think he's just doing this. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I don't have access to a bank, so... yeah, those scorpions don't attack me because I leveled my combat to more than twice their level. So if you're level 20, or if the enemy is aggressive and level 20, and you end up being like 41, I think it is, then they don't attack you. So it's also part of why getting the combat up is kind of nice. So it makes it generally the world much more friendly, because I'm up at 43, so anything that's 20, what is it, 21 or less won't attack me. Yeah, it's got to be exactly double, I think. Anyway, it's in that ballpark where it's like 2x their level. It's not less than, I'll put it that way. I forget whether it's 2x or you have to be one level above 2x. Smithing is so slow. People are like, why do you use the lamp and some of your XP benefits for prayer? It's like, prayer is slow, yeah, but any combat method, they're going to drop bones. Whether you kill them with magic, ranged, melee, they're going to drop bones. You go and bury them. Great. Doing the smithing, though, here, I still need to do another round to get enough XP for it. And you can't bank the ore or anything like that, so you have to come and smelt it every time. If I was to do bronze bars, you need copper and tin. So at best, I could make 14. I make iron, you fail that 50% of the time when refining it. So on average, I'm gonna make 14 at most. And I say at most because like I have some items in my inventory, so it would be less. If I want to do steel, that's 2 coal and 1 iron. There we go, 35 craft. Nice. More members content, great. Oh, I still have some silver to use. There we go. Oh, steel. That takes up 3 spots, so instead of 14 bars, I can make, well, not in my current configuration, but it would be like, 9. And so, myth, that's the armor I have on now, I bought that. That is 1 myth ore and 4 coal. So you're using up 5 slots per bar. And this armor takes 5 bars to make, so if you were to do that in one pass, it would be a full inventory just for that. Is it still 20? Yeah, it seems to bottom out at 20. Fantastic. I mean, it's slow, but still, that adds up. That's kind of nice. That it bottoms out, it doesn't just keep getting cheaper. Off topic. The next upgrade, Addy, you add another 2 coal to it. So that's at the top of the mine. It's the green ore I was showing there. You take 1 ore and 6 coal, as well as a fairly high level to make any of this stuff, smithing wise. And so it's still 5 bars to make a plate, but now it's 7 slots for each bar. Huh. Looks like someone swapped in world hopping for silver. Okay. I'll grab what I can, then head over. Yeah, this is the funny thing where I was talking to Lediath earlier. I was trying to do magic, and so... Sorry, I'll grab this real fast, and then I'll talk. I don't want to lose out on the ore, too. Or at least not in addition. So, like I was trying magic, and then it's like, wait, I'm at minus 47 magic attack. No wonder I'm splashing on chickens. So then you're like, oh, just remove it. Okay, great. You take it all off. You know, oh, okay, that helps. And so you then have positive stats. But you notice what happens. Like you take it off. Now it's taking up inventory space. I have no bank to put it in. So you want to swap gear, and it's like, oh, okay, that's a thing. So it's like, then do you carry extra food? Do you just remove the items? Do you swap them out? Like, what do you do? I don't know. I was killing chickens, so it really wasn't a problem. I just took off the penalty and just used the base stats. But in real combat, I guess you just carry less food. I haven't ran into that too much, so. Oh, but up here, this is the green rocks I was talking about, the adamantite. Yeah, house, about that. There's a skill called construction that is members only, where you can assemble rooms and wardrobes and armor stands. It's almost like they thought about that already. Tent? Who would have a tent? I don't need to recover my energy. They used to have a setup where you had fatigue, and so you would have a bedroll, and you would have to rest between every so many actions, not just like run energy, but just between your regular actions like mining. And not surprisingly, it wasn't very popular and people did not like it. I mean, slow? Okay, slow and steady? Okay, sure. Hey, there's mining level. But when you make it that it's interrupted, so you already have the respawn time, you're competing with other people, sure. And then you're like, oh, sorry, you gotta rest. You did a little too much activity. Yeah, that was a thing. I mean, but sometimes they get a little, the community gets a little upset over something that seems a little petty to me. So, it's been called lobster pot for a long time. They changed it to lobster cage, and the community was like, oh, no, we're not having that. Change it back to lobster pot. So, like, I don't know, 10 hours later, a week later, something like that, they change it back to lobster pot. Like, okay, guys. It's the same thing. They also seem to hate on microtransactions and stuff for RS3, but that's also what kind of keeps... Now, don't get me wrong, there's bonds. You can take money, you can buy bonds, you can take those bonds, cash them in on the Grand Exchange for gold, and then you can buy whatever weapons you want, and you know, if you use enough cash in old school RuneScape, that is. But on RS3, the newer one, you know, they have the keys, treasure hunter keys, and you can gain other stuff that way. I kind of prefer that because it's a little more transparent. If people want to spend money on it, great, more power to you. But if you create a Iron Man or an Ultimate Iron Man account, people say, "Oh, you can just get some lamps and level up, da da da," and it's like, no, you can't, because those aren't allowed with the treasure hunter keys. You can get cosmetics, you can get oddments, you can get a number of things, but you can't get the XP boosts. And yes, there's no Ultimate Iron Man in RS3, but you can play as an Ultimate Iron Man, you just never interact with your bank. And, you know, like I said, you can hate on it all you want, but if it's what keeps the other side of the coin, you know, going, why dislike that? Someone that is helping fund something you enjoy. And this is true of any of that kind. And it's like, oh, well, there's membership. Yeah, but is membership enough to cover all their cost? Probably not, because that's when they had, way back, they had membership, but then they, you know, exterminated a lot of the bots, and they're like, oh, we can't cover the cost. Oh, and that's where they introduced Wheel of Fortune and RS3 to its current thing. Oh no, I don't need to eat and drink. I'm an Iron Man, you know. Heart of Steel. I don't know. I never get tired. I just keep running. Look at this guy. He's just a robot. Yeah, it slows down a little bit for walking, but just keeps going and going and going. Oh, it should be a smithing level this time. Finally. Got so many crafting levels, mining. Orion Snake for what? On each world, on Old School RuneScape, on RS3. Old School RuneScape has grown significantly with the release of mobile. Hey, I can make steel longswords. That's still kind of rubbish, but there we go, finally. Now time to craft those. Because if you're talking about the servers, there's, you know, 984, 659, you know, 200, 140. So you've got your main world, 301, and then some below that, but not a huge number from what I can see here. With a lot of that. Now, this is free to play. I have it filtered, so because I don't need to see the members' worlds because I can't log into them. The members, you'll see the base world being similar number and, you know, higher overall, but yeah, then you compare that to RS3 significantly lower, even though I guess have a slightly larger world. So yeah, well, even for mine, it's like you go to that mine, that's kind of the main site, and you're like, oh, there's like 2 people there, and you saw how there was people hopping worlds. They'd pop in, mine the silver, go to a different world, so you're really not getting the interaction. I mean, it's fine. I like it the way it is, but it's not the same as a lot of the other, WoW or whatever else as you're running the community side of it. But then again, being an Ultimate Iron Man, I'm kind of doing this in isolation anyways. I mean, there is group Iron teams, but, I keep saying I need to wrap up, and I do, but it's like, oh, the rocks are available. They keep calling my name. But that's how it works. It's like, oh, just one more trip, and then suddenly you're like, hey, I'm at 20k and I can afford my weapon. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Is it's not gonna be an all-night thing, but I don't know how much I want to record of repeating the same thing here, going back and forth, just to, or like fumbling around with some of the quests. So like I cleared these rocks, like you see the timer up there. Why does that disappear sometimes? Most of the time I get that timer showing up, but I walked back and it disappeared. It was within the time frame. It's not like someone else popped in, mined the rock and left. It just disappeared for that. It's a little strange to me. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's a thing. It's like, hey, I found a stable way to make money, and then it's like, oh, an entire trip only nets you like 500 gold. Oh, well, that's not too bad. What can you get with 500 gold? And it's like a steel hatchet for 350. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I could stock up on these runes and sell those for 2 GP a piece. That would add up after a while, right? But yeah, I do need to wrap up though. Yeah, but they stack, so you come back to the mine, you walk over there, you just grab a few when they spawn in, and you're like, hey, look it, Now, as long as you're getting more than, 20 cost, you sell that symbol, you get 20. I guess technically it would be to my benefit to drop the mold, since it's like 5 GP, and I can sell the thing for 20 with an extra silver bar, but I really don't want to drop it, go back, grab the mold, go back again, then craft the one more symbol, and then go back and sell everything. So I could squeeze out an extra 20 GP at the cost of 5, but no. That would be something. No, well, when it comes to runecraft and stuff, there's pouches, but right now I don't think there's anything I can get for that, especially not free to play. So with like mining rune essence for runecraft, you can get that, but then you can load that into a pouch. There's small, medium, was it large and huge or something like that, and so you can have one of each, and you can store them up, so you can have, you know, I forget what it is, 2, 3, 4 inventories worth of stuff. You go to the altar, you turn it all into nature runes or whatever else, and like the sack wears out, the pouch wears out, but it allows you to carry more at a time. But that doesn't work with ores. On RS3, there's a sign of the porter, which allows you to transport an item that you mine, cut, fish, those kind of things, directly to your bank at the cost of using one of the charges. And so there's an item, Grace of the Elves, a necklace you can wear. You can store charges in that item, and that can hold 500 charges. There's a modification you can do to that then raises it to either 1,000 or 2,000. And so you can also then have your inventory filled with those signs and charge up the necklace, the amulet. And so you can transport potentially thousands of items to your bank, so you can be AFK a lot longer. I'm not aware of the strategy for that for old school RuneScape. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it seems like they don't have as many of those options in this one. Because the point of old school RuneScape is the grind. That's what makes it a challenge. If you can just get it right away, it's what's the point? Why would you fight a boss for thousands of hours to do tick perfect manipulation and beat the game? It's seeing this guy fight one of the hardest bosses, 1200 HP, with healers and mage and stuff, having to swap through the prayers. There's protect from magic, protect from missile or ranged, protect from melee. Swapping through those while moving back and forth, actively attacking the enemy, and doing it, essentially within one game tick, which is was it 0.8 seconds, 1.2 seconds, something like that, to swap through it. Basically, the idea is you swap it on when the damage is incoming, so it blocks the damage, but before the tick would finish and the charge, you'd be charged the cost of having that active, you turn it off, and so you block the damage for free, essentially. But it requires, very good timing, especially to do that with all three prayers alternating, and to also do the movement. And this person was not happy to just survive and do that. They also proceeded to set up the boss to maximize all of these and make sure they were out of sync and making it as hard as possible. And they did that on one point. So if they messed it up at all, it would go to 0 and they'd die. And so, yeah, that's some of the stuff that happens with this game. Oh, I can weave baskets now. When do I learn to do that underwater? Okay. On that note, I'm just gonna sell this inventory and wrap it up. No, baskets for something else, but yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Orion, and for Peachy and Ledia as well. Anyone else who was around that I am now forgetting. But yeah, thanks. And so I'm just heading back to the mine to be in place for it, and then we'll wrap it up. Just so kind of remember what I was doing. Otherwise, you kind of show up in a spot and you're like, your inventory doesn't change, and you're like, why was I doing that? I don't remember. Now I know I'm mining silver. So, anyways, thank you guys for hanging out, and catch you guys next time. Later. Bye.